to thank those of you that attended coming to today's construction information meeting for the drainage structure replacement project on Highway 57. The limits run roughly from the mid-junction with 42 up to just north of Jacksonport near, right around County E or Summit Road. My name is, like Mark said, my name is Paul Brauer. I'm the DOT project manager for state highway projects in Door and Kewaunee counties. The main purpose of today's meeting is to basically kick off the construction by giving the prime contractor, Felhoffer Brothers Construction, an opportunity to share and present his construction schedule and his traffic control impacts. And then after we get through the presentation, we'll open it up to questions, a QA period. We ask that you do hold off your questions until after we present all the information to make sure you have all the information. Before I pass it over to Felhoffer Brothers, I'd like to first introduce the project team, provide a brief description of the project, and just go through a few meeting housekeeping items. Regarding the project team, the prime contractor, like I said, is Felhoffer Brothers Construction, and with us today we have Josh Felhoffer. He's the project manager for this project. The hired project construction leader for the field is going to be Adam Peterson. He's with INS Group, the consultant that the department hired to oversee this project. The project supervisor for the DOT is Dan Segerstrom. He was not able to attend today. Mark Kantola, you just met him. He's our communications manager. He takes care of managing all the communication with the media and the general public.
And I build the website.
And he does, yeah. He handles a lot of the public stuff. Next, as far as the project description, what the project involves, like I said, it's involving the replacement of drainage structures at 4 locations. The first 2 locations are at Lily Bay Creek, which is just south of Institute. We'll be replacing that box culvert with a new box culvert. And then another one that's going to occur this fall concurrently is at Geisel Creek. There's an existing box culvert there that'll be replaced with a girder-type bridge. That work is expected to begin after Labor Day. Josh will get into the details here in just a moment. And then next spring, there'll be the replacement of the Logan Creek structure, which is right near Mr. G's Supper Club. There's twin culvert pipes there that'll be replaced with a slab span bridge. And then we'll take a break for the summer, and then coming back in the fall of 25 after Labor Day of next year, we'll be replacing the 2 twin culverts at Hibbard Creek with a slab span bridge there as well. In addition to the structure replacement, of course, we'll also be doing the associated excavation, the backfilling, asphalt paving, shouldering, pavement marking, and other various items at those specific locations. In addition to that work, there will be some new guardrail going in at the Geisel Creek, Logan Creek, and Hibbard Creek structures. Regarding the traffic control for the project, a portion of the Highway 57 will be closed and detoured for each of these structure locations at each of the individual times. This fall, next spring, and the following fall. The detour for this fall for the work at Lily Bay Creek and Geisel Creek will use Highway 42 and County I. The detour for next spring's work at Logan Creek will use County T and County V. And then the detour for next fall of 25 for the work at Hibbard Creek will follow County V, County A, and County E. The way the detours will work and the closures will work, there'll be a hard, tight closure of barricades right at the immediate structure location. And then at the beginning and the end of the detour route, there'll be a loose barricade closure, which means it'll have a gap in it so locals can get access to their destination within the loose closed portion of the roadway. That'll still remain open to local access for businesses and people that have a destination within that area. As far as the meeting housekeeping items I had mentioned, there are handouts here, hard copies. There's also a sign-in sheet. If you're here, we ask you to get your name and your contact information on there in case we need to get a hold of you for whatever reason. We can do that. Similar to this meeting that we're holding today, we're also going to hold additional meetings. We'll have one next spring, probably, I'm guessing late March, early April, for the kickoff of the work at Logan Creek. And then again, next fall, probably in late August, early September, probably late August, we'll have another construction info meeting for the work at Hibbard Creek. Those dates and times are to be determined, as well as the location. There's a pretty good chance we'll hold next spring's one here again, more than likely, but we'll notify you of that. I guess next I can pass it over to Josh Felhoffer of Felhoffer Brother Construction to see if he has anything to add regarding his specific schedule and anything to add regarding construction, traffic control staging. Oh, yeah. Well, we'll work in.
I think, again, Josh Felhoffer with Felhoffer Brothers Construction, and I think Paul hit on pretty much every aspect that you had covered of the project details. We are gonna, you'll see message boards go out today that the project will be closing on the 3rd of September for this first phase for Geisel Creek and Lily Bay Creek. And the closure is expected from September 3rd to November 26th. We'll open sooner if possible, but that is our length of time, and that's what I've got for
How the
the.
road's open to local traffic and some of the threats inside of a detour route if you're going in there?
The road is open to State Highway 57 in between Lily Bay and Geisel Creek will be open to local traffic. You will not be, it'll be a hard closure at each one of the Geisel Creek and Lily Bay. You will not be able to go through there. There will be no bridge in the middle of State Highway 57. And it'll be barricaded off and no public access.
Basically, the locals will have access on either side to the outside of those structures and in between based on the local road system. But right at those locations, the bridge will be out. You won't be able to get across those.
And that, is there any questions out there?
I'd like to review some of the temporary business signing. I know there's not a lot of businesses impacted by construction along this route, but there are some and some organizations. We have a resource that we provide to everybody. Laddie, can you get me on the website one more time, please?
Sure.
This won't take long, but I'd like to show you. It's some really good collateral for businesses to use to connect with their, connect with their customers. So can you pop it up on screen? There we go. So what you're looking at now is our In This Together program. It's basically a guide for businesses and organizations during construction. I won't go through everything, but I'll highlight some of the key samples. These are promotional samples. These are real world newspaper advertisements, campaigns, signs that businesses use to not only survive but thrive during construction. You are welcome to go and take any of these brochures, packets, whatever, switch the name to your business and use as you like. They have proven track records. Also on this In This Together website for businesses, we have case studies of significant impacts through major urban areas that closed highways for significant amounts of time. This goes through how these businesses survived and thrived during year-long closures. But perhaps the best new collateral we have is this interactive road construction guide for businesses. It's a multi-page PDF with information for businesses from the beginning before the project's even planned to the end of construction. I'll run through the pages very quick here. We have a table of contents. We have a letter from our secretary, Craig Thompson, who will no longer be secretary on September 11th. Our new secretary will be Christina Boardman. Then this is the preparation roadmap. This is where organizations and businesses need to start thinking about reaching out to their customers. It doesn't happen when the shovel's in the ground. It happens before the shovels go into the ground. This is an idea of what to expect from WSDOT and how you can play an active role. We talk a little bit about getting organized. This is a really nice checklist to success. It has chat bubbles, and when you hover over the chat bubbles with your cursor, it pops up an idea below. Now, a lot of them are too intuitive, but with everything going on with businesses, it's nice to have a little advice here. An example would be hovering over the The truck, it talks about working with your suppliers to arrange alternate delivery. Now, sometimes the road won't be closed, but it'll be skinnied up, and your supply trucks are too big to go onto those roads. So it's something you need to think about even if there's not a road closure. Again, a lot of wonderful advice here. Please check it out. Next, and probably most important, is our temporary signage guide. Businesses can have temporary signage guides throughout the project. This is free. Permit, we need to have the permit go to Paul or the construction project leader, because we need to ensure that the permit is placed at a safe place. We've had signage from businesses that were put right on top of traffic control, which is obviously not appropriate. So this permit to install temporary business sign, it's really easy. It has all the instructions on it, and then you just send it to Paul. One note to make, though, we do not pay for the sign itself. You must create and pay for the sign. A lot of times businesses will get together 6 at a time and put 6 logos on a sign noting business, it's still open. Then we go through some really huge projects. This one lasted 7 to 10 years and how businesses survived, and then some of the really large ones down in the Milwaukee, Madison urban area. And then we talk about the end of construction. And then we go through some project information and resources, and with the life cycle of a transportation project, and then we have some additional business resources for you there. So with that, I can throw it back to the project team for conclusion of the program. Go ahead, Paul, take it away. How do I get the project website?
On the invite that you
Can I just
received
click
for
it?
this meeting, I
Thank you.
have a link to the project's website, and through that website, you can access all this information that Mark just went through. And if there's, my name is on there as a contact. If you have problems migrating around or can't find something, you can get a hold of me.
Right now, I'm pulling up construction projects. We're going to show you the website that we created for this project. All you have to do is go to the 511 system, 511wi.gov. Construction projects are up here. Simply click on construction projects. And there you'll see all of them. Then you click on Northeast. This is where all of our construction is, and you can see every single construction project taking place. We will highlight the 57 project in Door County. Right
There you
There?
go. Culvert replacement. That's it.
And it takes you to the main page. We've got a map here to show you where it's at. Oops. There we go. Then we go back to the main page here, and if you click full overview, all those maps and detours, the project maps, construction, everything the project team just talked about happening, the schedule. Remember, the schedule of the closure is going to start September 3rd, so this will be updated to September 3rd, the closure of 57, okay? And then we have the traffic impacts, all the detour maps, everything you need to go. This is your first resource to go for updated project information. All right, Paul, that's all I got.
Can you back out to the main page where it lists all the projects, Mark?
Yes, sir.
Just wanted to show them. On the very top, if you see on the very top, it says all construction projects for the region. If you wanted to take a look at all the projects and the current status, there's a weekly, that's a link to the weekly advisory. It tells what's going on in each project week by week. Those are updated every Friday, correct, Mark?
Yes, every Friday this is updated. This does not have the Door County project right now because it doesn't start yet.
Hasn't started
right?
yet.
But it'll be featured this Friday on the weekly advisory because it starts next week. So we profile 2 weeks worth of work on the weekly advisory, all right? So we're going to tell you about construction projects taking place the current week we're in, and we're going to tell you about construction and traffic impacts that are coming up the next week. It is an incredibly valuable resource if you like to see what's actually taking place on construction, what the workers are actually working on. We will spell it out on this website here. The project website, that's for all the detour maps, the project maps, the exhibits, that kind of thing.
Pretty much is it. I guess with that, that's the bulk of the presentation. We'll open it up to any questions that anybody has. If you don't want to ask it in front of the group, that's fine too. We'll hang around here for a few minutes if you just got something specifically for your property. Yes?
I've got the property on the southeast on the Logan Creek project. And I don't
Okay.
know who's responsible for it, but somebody came in and cut down a bunch of trees and left stumps that are 2.5 feet high, and the brush is all there and everything else. And I bought that property 30-some years ago, and it was a farmer's field, and I planted trees, and trees are very near and dear to me.
Yeah,
And my land borders the Ridge Sanctuary, which is 200 acres. And so I like to keep as many trees as possible on the properties. An old log barn, which they say is the most photographed barn in Door County, and I kind of like to keep that, even though it's an expensive proposition, keeping it going. But anyhow, I don't know who, is there anybody responsible?
Yeah, I can explain that.
They just cut everything down and
Yep.
just leave it there, and that's it?
historically in the past, that tree clearing would have been done with this contract. Due to environmental reasons, there's specific timeframes that we can clear trees, and in this case, it's for the northern long-eared bat, which is protected. So in recent years, we had to go under a separate statewide contract to clear some of these locations ahead of the project. So that was done for this project, but under a different contract. Under that contract, what's required for the restriction for the bat is they have to just get the tree down and or remove. The stumps can come out with a contract, and that's what's going to happen. That's going to clean that up. Those trees removals were necessary for the limits of the new bridge work that we're doing under this contract. So yeah, that'll be cleaned up and shaped up as part of this bridge project. So it was two-part. The first contract laid them down, removed the bulk of it. This contract will remove the stumps and clean everything up. So yes. There is.
If more trees are going to be removed? Is that what your question is, more trees going to be removed?
You're at Logan Creek, you said, right? Yeah. That should be all the trees that are coming out at that location, but the stumps will be coming out. The only location that the trees are going to be cleared under this contract is up at Hibbard Creek. And the reason why is we had opportunity to do it under this contract and the time requirements, being that it was let this last year, just started now. We have this winter, there's a limited time frame in the winter time that we can actually fell the trees. So Hibbard Creek, since it's not happening until next fall of '25, we have the opportunity to clear the trees up there under this contract. So that's the only location that's going to have trees actually laid down under this contract. Yep, under this contract, that'll be part of that.
I probably would try to plant some more trees in there after this thing is all over with.
Just be aware on what property it's on. I mean, some of the trees are probably cleared in the temporary limited easement area, but if it's on our right-of-way, typically we don't have trees planted on a right-of-way unless it's a landscape type job or something like that, but yeah.
Anyhow, I hate to complain, but.
No, it's a valid question.
Yeah, that's a good question. I've been getting that question a lot, actually,
Yeah.
because of the new way we're clearing the trees across the state with a separate contract. So that's a good question, but, yeah. That's how we do it now.
There's a lot of new requirements regarding endangered species that we have to do things a little differently in order to meet the environmental requirements.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Any other questions?
Paul,
Yes.
Kitty Victor, I live immediately adjacent to Hibbard Creek,
Yeah.
so I'd imagine you and I will run into one another. Sure. Which company is doing the tree clearing, since you said that it'll be done by my property this,
Interstate Tree Service will
okay,
be doing the clearing.
okay. And have you actually like physically visited these properties yet?
No, we'll be going up there in the next one, Adam, in a few weeks probably, marking out what needs to be done, right?
Yes, we have very specific limits of where the trees have to be cleared, which would have been, accounted for, and yeah.
It's all
She
on
discussed that.
Yeah, if you discussed it with somebody and put it in a plan, I have that plan, and that's what we will mark out, and that's where it'll be cleared.
Would probably be good to
Yeah.
communicate with her just to make sure everybody's on the same page, we're understanding it clearly, so.
Yeah, when we get up there, we can knock on your door and see. Absolutely.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Any other questions? Well, if not, thank you very much for attending. We'll hang around here for a few minutes in case there's any other